Philanthropreneur, an entrepreneur-inspired approach to solving complex, large-scale problems by addressing their root causes, all the while replacing band-aid-based philanthropic models with self-sustaining solution-based systems that align the ROI of return on investment with the other ROI, ripple of impact. Give a man a fish, and you will feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you will feed him for a lifetime. A simple adage reveals so much wisdom. So why is it that society constantly overlooks their empowering lessons? Philanthropic organizations continue deploying the same methods with attempts to solve the challenges they take on while overlooking their fundamental root causes. Similar to how a doctor prescribes a pill to minimize the symptoms of the sick versus focusing on healing or preventing those symptoms in the first place. The mere fact that we only visit our healthcare practitioners when we are sick versus taking a preventative path speaks loudly to the underlying backwards thoughts we have been socialized to adopt.
Charities, like doctors, are responding to the symptoms of the rules they are plagued with and the conditions of the tools they use to solve these issues.
Truth is, our thoughts are equally backwards when it comes to how we and our governments judge, regulate, and give to charity. Dan Pallotta, an entrepreneur and humanitarian activist, once shared in a powerful TED Talk.
I want to talk about how the things we've been taught to think about giving and about charity and about the nonprofit sector are actually undermining the causes we love and our profound yearning to change the world. But before I do that, I want to ask if we even believe that the nonprofit sector has any serious role to play in changing the world. A lot of people say now that business will lift up the developing economies and social business will take care of the rest. And I do believe that business will move the great mass of humanity forward. But it always leaves behind that 10% or more that is most disadvantaged or unlucky. And social business needs markets, and there are some issues for which you just can't develop the kind of money measures that you need for a market. I sit on the board of a Center for the Developmentally Disabled, and these people want laughter and compassion, and they want love. How do you monetize that? And that's where the nonprofit sector and philanthropy come in. Philanthropy is the market for love. It is the market for all those people for whom there is no other market coming. And so if we really want, like Buckminster Fuller said, a world that works for everyone, with no one and nothing left out, then the nonprofit sector has to be a serious part of the conversation.
It's time that true philanthropic leaders emerge from the boxes society has encaged us in and begin taking on the world's biggest challenges through an entrepreneurial lens. It's time for the rise of the philanthropreneur. Dan Pallotta is a prime example of an emerging philanthropreneurial mindset. Charity should not be about giving until you're left empty-handed, but should be encouraged to operate on the same level playing field as corporations do, with the competitive advantage of being able to reward philanthropic gifts through tax breaks and other incentivizing tools. Giving to charities is a fundamentally beautiful act with practically useless impact. As long as we live in a world where financial incentives are a fundamental pillar of society, we must realize that the ideals of the gift economy, in which people like Charles Eisenstein might envision for our future, will only come about via forces that slowly blend the ideas of capitalism and gifting together. So what's the solution? Where should you direct your philanthropic efforts and gifts? We wouldn't dare tell you that it's a simple answer, but we could suggest funding, gifting, starting, supporting, and getting involved in projects with a mentality of philanthropreneurship. We as individuals do not only judge corporations on the return for shareholders, then why only judge charities on the metrics of impact alone? We cannot judge charities based on the percentage of earnings that they give, but on real tangible metrics for impact. We must instead encourage philanthropreneurship through the merging of these two fundamental principles: return on investment and ripple of impact. Because in many ways, if it makes sense, it makes sense. But if it helps the world and also makes sense, then we can create an unstoppable force for good, a movement for sustainable change. Learn how to be a philanthropreneur today. Watch our free class to get you started now.